He's so huge. I just had to just bring in just how tall this man is and highlight how short. Okay, we're good. Hey, I'm Andi with the new Q1041. I'm really, really excited. Harlem Globetrotters going to be in the Triad this weekend. Going to be in Winston-Salem Friday night. You'll be in Greensboro on Sunday. And we have buckets here.
Yes.
And we're really proud to be partnered up with the Harlem Globetrotters for this event. So cool. I went to my first Harlem Globetrotters game when I was 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
And this is when I still thought I had a shot at playing basketball.
Okay.
I did a church league growing up. Didn't quite work out for me. Didn't get the height or the coordination from anyone in my family. Thanks, Dad. But when did you start playing basketball?
I actually started playing basketball at 5 years old, but with referees at 6. But I'd go to the park and play a little ball. But before that, I asked my mom and dad for a Nerf hoop when I was 5, and they said they'd get it for me. So I waited around. I looked at the clock. 15 minutes went by. I didn't have my Nerf hoop. So I went into my grandmother's sewing box, took one of my dad's hats, and I cut a hole in the top of the hat. Flipped the bill over and slid in the top of the door and shot a tennis ball in there, and that was my first basketball hoop.
And then your parents were like, okay, clearly this guy's serious about basketball. We got to get with it.
Especially it was my dad's work hat too, so they knew I meant
After you got
business.
grounded,
Yes.
then you got to play basketball more.
Yeah. Well, I didn't find out what kind of trouble I was in until I got home from school, because I did it and then went to school that next morning.
Hid the evidence.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool to have an opportunity to, my dream was always to be a professional athlete. It wasn't just basketball. It was never sports specific. I had a full ride scholarship for football, basketball, and track and field. I chose basketball because it was indoors.
Smart man.
I'm from
Smart
Phoenix,
man.
Arizona. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. So
There's some
football
heat
practice
going
was
on.
hot, and track practice was hot, and basketball, no matter how tired you are, that AC is blowing.
Absolutely.
Unless they didn't pay the bills, but my high school paid their bills.
There you go. Good
Just
go.
like that.
So how many people actually are on the Harlem Globetrotters team? How many people do you play with? Does everybody go to every game? Because you play a lot of games.
We play a little over 400 games a season. There's 30 players, 27 men, 3 women. We were the first all-men sports team to have a woman play. The first was in 1985.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Girl power. I got 4 sisters. But there's 10 on each team. There's a red, white, and a blue tour. And we all travel all over the world. But our North American tour is our longest tour. And that covers 250 cities, 48 states, and 9 Canadian provinces from December 26th to May 5th. So we do cover a lot of ground. And like I said, every tour has a young lady on there. So all the young ladies who are aspiring to be basketball players like yourself when you're 5 years old in the church league can become a Harlem Globetrotter if they want to.
That's awesome. I mean, I think there's a lot of inspiration that these kids, they come and see you play.
Yes.
And, oh, wow, I want to do that.
Yes.
What advice do you have for these kids that are working towards playing basketball professionally or any sport professionally? How do they get from point A to point B?
It's just general advice to all kids and maybe even some adults, just to be the best you that you could possibly be. It's tough to try and be someone else. All these kids have, television. They have these little devices and gadgets and iPads, iPods, and all that stuff, magazines and books to read, so they can easily try and be like someone else. But you're unique in your own way, and as soon as you figure out what's cool and what's unique about you, then you'll reach your goals a lot faster as opposed to trying to be someone else.
Absolutely. And you also played ball in college as well.
Yes, I went to University of Wyoming, Cowboys, country music Cowboys.
So you got a thing going on here.
Yeah. So, and speaking of, our student trainer at University of Wyoming that used to tape my ankles is Will Ledoux, Chris Ledoux's son. Yeah,
Very
so that was
cool.
pretty
Small
cool.
world.
Yep,
See? Harlem
Globetrotters
Globetrotters and the new Q, we get along great.
Yeah, so I still talk to him, by the way, but I had fun in college, and most people wouldn't know this by my size, but I led my team in rebounds, and I was also second in scoring, first in steals and assists, and I think second in blocks. So I'm a utility guy.
Wow. So how imperative do you think it was to play college ball to get you to the Harlem Globetrotters?
Oh, very much so. Our scouts, they're looking at college players and players from other professional teams, and they're looking for 3 criteria. They're looking for great basketball players, great athletes, and they're looking for a certain personality, because we do a lot of community outreach as well. We're not known as ambassadors of goodwill for no reason. We've used this basketball to bridge the gap amongst cultures as well as genders and the U.S., making the U.S. and other countries' relationships a little bit better.
You're a busy man.
all day.
Well, thank you so much, Buckets. We're looking forward to seeing you. Going to be at the LJVM Friday night. Sunday afternoon, you'll be at the Greensboro Coliseum. Can't wait to see you play.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.